Hello, every pony! Yes, I actually say that. So, this is it. And while this was intended to be a 500 sub special, I guess this is technically a 600 sub special because I just hit 600 subs and that is awesome. Thank you all very much for clicking that subscribe button. As well, I'm hoping this won't be the only Q&A I do, so if you'd like to know anything about me, or my music, or anything, please ask away. Now let's get right to it. Let's start off with this one by Alexander Ian. I wish I could go to Everfree Northwest. Sad face. I have a question for your Q&A. What are the chances of you going to one of the Brony conventions in Europe? I know it's probably not very likely because it would cost you just as much to come here as it would cost me to go to one of the conventions in the US. Sigh. Oh well, maybe when I get a job, I'll finally be able to meet you. Well, Alexander, thanks for asking the first question. Maybe you'll like this answer. Don't lose hope, because it's more likely than you think. The only reason I was able to afford to go to BronyCon a couple times is because my mother is an airline pilot, and I get a benefit of being able to fly on standby. Standby means I can get on most flights if there's room on the plane. I don't use that benefit nearly as much as I used to, but I am still able to. As well, I have a lot of family in Italy, because that's where my mother's from, and we like to visit every summer when we can. So I don't know if that makes this a total guarantee, but it's more likely than you think, so don't lose hope. Ariel Rush asks, what were some of your early influences that made you get into writing/playing music? This might be a bit of a long answer. I've been playing music for a very long time now. I was always singing, but I didn't pick up an instrument until I was 10 and I learned the violin. And I disappointed my violin teacher by giving up the violin a few years later and picked up the guitar when I was 12 because I wanted to play rock and roll music. In terms of my influences, I've always loved music from animated shows. Daniel Ingram in particular is someone I very much look up to, the one who does the music for My Little Pony. When I was in high school, I went through a major pop-punk phase. To this day, I'm still into Green Day, Blink-182, and other pop-punk. Lighter, more upbeat electronic stuff like Owl City. I would say if I had to pick a top 5 earlier influences list for how I make music, it's Green Day, Broadway Calls, Owl City, music from animated shows and TV, and Gorillaz. So those are some early influences, as well as important inspirations for how I make music today. I know that was a bit of a long answer, but I hope it's a clear one at least. I'm probably pronouncing this next one wrong, but Srightry Amist. How'd you get your hair so dang friggin' charming? It's funny that you asked that. My OC's name is in fact Charmer. I only wish my actual hair was that cool. I'm unfortunate enough that my hair naturally grows into an afro. If you want to see it real quick. Yeah, there it is. So how did Charmer get his hair so friggin' charming? It may be natural cuteness. Maybe it was just drawn that way, I don't know. Firestorm164 asks, when and how did you become a technicolored horse enthusiast? I feel like I've told this story a lot just to other people, but here it is. So, I was just done being a junior in high school, and a friend of mine came to me. His name is Travis. Hi, Travis. And I saw him wear a pony t-shirt. I asked him about it, and he told me about the whole brony thing, and I kind of thought it was just him, but one day I went to a LAN party of his, and I saw a bunch of pony figurines on his desk, and I got curious. I'm like, what's with this pony thing? And he showed me an episode. And when I got home that night, I started watching another, and then another, and then another, and it was all downhill from there. I locked myself in my room just to watch episodes and random clips of ponies. This was back in 2011 when the fandom was just getting pretty big. I was sort of ashamed of loving it so much, but that's what a lot of bronies go through. But it got to a point where I just didn't care who knew anymore. Vinyl Vortex asks, do you know the way to San Jose? I don't know. I'm going back to find some peace of mind. For those who don't know, he's referencing to a song by Dionne Warwick. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Fun fact, I actually didn't know you were trying to make that song reference until my roommate told me what it was. I thought you were actually asking if I knew the way to San Jose. Anyway, Shining Smile asks, do you have a background story for your OC, and if so, what is it? Not really a background story. If you're talking about his life story or something, I do give him some character development though. I guess he's kind of just a ponified version of me, but bubblier and sillier and more naive. I imagine he would be living in Ponyville, and he'd be Ponyville's official piano technician, because I figure that's probably a career I'm going to have in the future. No real backstory for him, just character development, and the fact that he's really, really cute. Cuter than all of your OCs combined. Dexter Thoma asks, how do you feel about people with disabilities? You can answer this now if you want, or not at all, but I would like to know one way or the other. Your choice, though. Those who are disabled in any way are people, all deserving of reasonable accommodation in everything. Like all people, there are those that are good and those that are bad, and they're just people. I treat them like how I would anyone else, and of course, with added understanding of their disability. And that's it, really. And that's the way it should be. YTMLP says, congrats on the growth. Thank you. What adventures might Selfie Pony get into in the future? Well, Selfie Pony is going to Everfree, just like me. I'll be hanging out with her a lot there. We met before Pacific PonyCon, actually. And we hung out at Pacific PonyCon for most of the time, became best friends, and really hit it off. So Selfie is going to embark on another selfie quest. If you're going to Everfree, get a selfie with Selfie Pony, and me too, since I'll be going. The Rescue Pony asks, what is your opinion on Season 6 so far? I really like Season 6, actually. I feel like I'm not nearly as picky about the show as others tend to be. I tend to appreciate the show for what it is rather than what I wish it could be. I really like Baby Flurry Heart. I loved the premiere. Maud was really funny in the recent Manhattan episode. The episode with Ember is the best Spike episode of the series by far, if you ask me. I really can't wait to meet Fluttershy's brother. Season 6 is great so far, really. I was worried that it wouldn't be. To me, Season 4 I thought could have been a little better, and I was worried that would be the show's downfall, but it really picked back up on Season 5, and my love for the show has not decreased at all, so I love Season 6 so far. Alexander Ian asks again, thanks for your questions, bro. Patrons are kind of like investors, right? And since I don't really have a better question, what is your favorite cereal? Reese's Puffs, which isn't really cereal. It's literally just Reese's candy in a cereal box. So much sugar and amazing. About Patreon, though. Patreon, for those who don't know, is a platform where you can pledge money to your favorite content creators. A lot of reviewers do it. A lot of musicians do it. A lot of artists do it. And you can get little perks back depending on how much you donate. I happen to have a Patreon. If you'd like to check it out, view the link in the description. Darren Chips asks, do you like vegetables? Not really. They're really, healthy and stuff. Which probably explains why my freshman 15 is coming back with a vengeance. Alright, well, that's it for today. Thank you all very much for your questions. Like I said before, I'd really like this to be a thing that happens more often, so you want to know anything about me? Ask away. Thanks a lot, and stay tuned for more music. I say that a lot, don't I?